Hey, do you know all the differentiation rules, but you have no clue where they come from? You have no clue how they are true? Well, I'm going to show you why the quotient rule is true, okay? Now, in this video, I am assuming you already know the chain rule and the product rule, okay? If you don't know those rules, just go somewhere and learn them. They're pretty simple, okay? They are nothing crazy. And we're going to use the chain rule and the product rule to prove this equation, okay? Which is basically the derivative of two functions dividing each other is this expression right there, okay? So let's begin. We know that the derivative with respect to x of the quotient of two functions, so I'm going to say u of x and v of x, we know this is the same as if you took the derivative with respect to x for u times the inverse of v, which I'm going to write using this notation, okay? V of x, -1, okay? This is the notation I'm going to use. So now we know we can find this derivative using the product rule. So let's do that. We know that the derivative of u of x is going to be u prime of x times, now we need to use the same expression that we have in here, so that is going to be v of x to the -1 plus, remember it's the product rule, so you want to add, plus now the derivative of v times u. So I'm going to write first u of x times v, the derivative of v, which we know is going to be minus v of x. Now the power rule says we need to subtract, so we have -2 times, remember, we just took the derivative of the outside function, which we can say is any other letter, say it's just simply a or y. And now we remember that v of x, it contains a function inside. So we need to multiply by the derivative of the function inside of vx. And that is simply going to be v prime of x, okay? This is the chain rule. And this is the second term that we have. And we know this big boy thing, I know it's not dividing anything, yeah. Now we just need to simplify this. So we're going to continue down here. So we know this is going to be equal to, this term, you can just simply go u prime of x. This is simply going to be 1 over vx. And it is multiplying, so you can just simply write it as a denominator. So you have v of x dividing u prime x. Now we have this term is out, that's ready. Now we have here, now let's simplify this portion over there. I'm going to do that in blue so you know that we're doing something specifically for that part. So we know that if we have v to the negative, v to the negative -2, well, not to the negative -2, yeah, just v to the minus v to the -2. It is kind of weird to pronounce all of this, but yeah. So we have minus 1 over v of x squared, okay? This is the equation, the expression that we have. You can just simply switch the fraction. This is v over 1, so you can switch that. Don't forget the minus, and you can bring this square to the bottom. And now you're going to multiply by simply v prime x, okay? And we know this is going to be minus v prime x over v. I'm going to start now. No, I'm not going to change the notation now. Yeah, let's just keep going with this notation, okay? So this is how we can simplify that portion. And we know we're adding, so over here on this side, we're going to add plus u of x. So we have u of x times this expression right here, which is the factor that we have with u of x, but we just simply simplify it, so we get this. So we have these times minus v prime x over v of x squared, okay? This is how much we get. And now we just simply need to play the algebra, and well, we're going to get the quotient rule. So we know for this, we can simply do, this is going to be u, let me simplify this first, u prime x over v of x plus, minus u of x times v prime of x. Okay, we're multiplying these two terms. And all of this is going to be divided by v of x squared. And now we can just simply, you can simplify these two fractions. You're going to grab this v of x squared and you're going to multiply it up here. And also, do you know like the happy box method? I think that's how it's called in English, I believe so. But yeah, you know how to simplify this. I'm guessing if you're in calculus, you should know how to simplify that. So we know this is going to be u prime of x times v of x squared minus u of x times v of x times v prime of x all of this being divided by v of x to the third power, okay? You're multiplying this and this. And now we want to take out from there, I'm going to do that in red so you don't really confuse anything. We can take out from here one vx term. So we're going to have that looks bad, but let me do it again. We're going to have v of x times this entire term that we have. So this is going to be u prime of x times vx, and you need to subtract one exponent because we took out one factor. I'm going to write this on this side. So you have v prime x minus u of x. We took out this vx, so we're not going to write it again, and we have v prime of x, okay? And we know this entire thing is simply being divided by, you probably already know, this is basically the entire proof. But yeah, you can take out from here 1 vx, and you're going to still be multiplying by vx squared, okay? And this is the entire proof. You can see that the two vx's, this one and this one, they're going to go out. You can erase them, and you're going to have the proof that we were looking for. E prime of x times v of x minus v prime of x times u of x, no, not u prime, sorry. I wrote the apostrophe, no apostrophe. U of x, and all these two terms over v of x squared, okay? You can see this is the expression that we were looking for. I'm going to say equation, but this is technically not an equation. This is just simply an expression. An equation would be, well, the entire chain of equations, yeah. So yeah, this is basically what we were looking for. I hope you learned something new today. This is a pretty good way to use the chain rule and the product rule combined. You need to be careful. The first time that I tried to prove this equation, I almost forgot to multiply by b prime x on this side. Remember that when you can do it like this. On this part right here, when you're doing the chain rule of vx, you can say simply that vx is any function u, not u because we are already using u, but let's say it's just simply going to be y, okay? And if you have, and you know that y is also going to be a function in terms of x. So when you're doing, when you have, what do we have? When you have v to the negative y, and you want to take the derivative of that with respect to x, of v to the negative, of y to the negative 1, remember this is going to be minus y to the negative 2 times the derivative of y to the of y prime of x, okay? That is the chain rule. Don't forget this part. That is like the most important part that most people forget that they need to do. And if you forget this factor v prime x, well, you're done because you're not going to be able to prove anything, okay? So yeah, that's the entire thing. I hope you enjoyed this video and see you in the following one.